Welcome back to the Getting Hired course. So, in this section, we will discuss about how it starts with you. The lesson is all about self assessment and goal setting. If you don't understand yourself, you won't be happy with where you end up. Taking some time to introspect can make the process of getting hired a more manageable and strategic process. Where you are now, without defining what your own needs are, you will have no way of determining the right path forward. So, hunker down until you have got an idea of what your key needs are right now from a job. The questions below should help you think about what is actually essential for you versus nice to have. Ask yourself these questions. Why do I need a job? What kind of salary level do I need to sustain myself and my family? What kind of job security level do I need to sustain myself and my family? How desperate am I to get a job right now? So, knowing the answers to these questions will also clear out what are your requirements for getting a job, where you want to be. Once you have been honest with yourself about your needs, it's time to figure out what you want. What will your future needs be? What kinds of companies do you want to work at? Why do I want a job in web development? What kind of career path do I want to have? Do I want to work in a developer led organization versus sales or business led? So there are different organizations which are differently led. Do I prefer working in a team environment or remotely? So you want to be an individual contributor or do you want to work in a team? Do I like working long hours, weekends, or 9 to 6? Is the work more important than the people? Do I have to care about the product I'm building, or like I can make a small part of it and not care about the entire thing? Do I have to care about the technologies I'm using? So I should be free to use other technologies than what the current stack being used by the team. Do I prefer an easy work environment or one where I'm constantly pushed? Do I want creature comfort incentives like free food and beer at the office? So some of the new Google started this trend. So the some of those tech companies will give you this free creature comfort incentives. Do I have to enjoy my work or can I power through a crappy job? So all these are questions that you have to ask yourself. Prioritizing needs and wants. You should have at least an informal list of the things that matter to you. Now ruthlessly rank them. What are your non negotiables and what are your nice to haves? Every company and opportunity will fall somewhere on the spectrum defined by those questions, and they are the criteria you will later use to evaluate them. This will help you stay focused when considering opportunities and not spread yourself too thin chasing things that you wouldn't really choose anyway. Make sure you know every one of your must haves and your top 5 priorities for nice to haves in a job. What are your assets and liabilities? It's time to be honest with yourself. What do you bring to the table? If you are early in your career, which you probably are, you will have to work hard to distinguish yourself from the flood of unqualified candidates out there. You need to strike the line between being honest with yourself and not selling yourself short. Everyone, especially those just starting out, feels unqualified. That's natural, so don't worry about it. This is about figuring out your strengths and weaknesses so you can tailor your story to play to your strengths and honestly address your weaknesses. Some questions to ask, which you will probably hear again and again in your early interviews. How hungry am I? How good am I at building backend code? How good am I at putting together front ends? Can I solve really technical problems like brain teasers and algorithms, so DSA questions? Have I built projects that display a good range of skills? Do I know people who can recommend me? Am I a good people person who builds relationships easily? Do I portray an aura of confidence or act shy? Do I tend to undersell myself and my capabilities? Do I have a broad level of general tech knowledge? Am I very familiar with a particular technical or industry vertical? Usually, career switchers have one. That is the reason they're switching. Do I tend to procrastinate or do I just get shit done? Do I wait to ask for help or do I go out and find the answer on my own? So you're a self starter in that case. Do I lean into challenges or avoid them? What are some really difficult problems I have solved before? So you can pick and choose the problems. Even if you are starting out new, you have done something in your degree course or in your university, and you can highlight those. Applying without much experience means you need to fill in your weak spots and emphasize your strengths. For almost everyone, your biggest strength will be an hunger and ability to learn. But companies have heard that story before, so you will have to tie in other strengths that you can use to make your story compelling. A quick note: there's a difference between hunger for opportunity and desperation. Hunger is about seeking reward, which you can do when you are in a comfortable situation, and optimizing opportunities. While desperation is about avoiding failure, which occurs when you absolutely must have that job. Do whatever it takes to not sound desperate, even if you are. So, this is also a way you have to go through multiple interviews, and then you can reach your own style in which way you can explain that your hunger without appearing desperate. With that, we come to the end of this section. So, we'll move on to the next one.